A little while ago when quarantine first started, I made a video on how to make cloud dough. It's just kind of like a I'm bored and we're all in quarantine and let's have fun activity. The cloud dough is just made from cornstarch and hair conditioner, but I got so many comments on that video of can I use flour instead of cornstarch, or can I use shampoo instead of hair conditioner? And I don't really know the answers to those questions, so I decided I should just do a follow-up video and experiment. So in today's video, I'm gonna try it out with flour and I'm gonna try it out with shampoo and we will see what we get. And hopefully this will answer all of your questions. Also, apparently in my last video, in reference to the scent of the hair conditioner, I misspoke and I said the word flavor. Like if you get a nice flavor, like I've got strawberries and cream. And you guys had quite the heyday with that. Rest assured, I would never encourage kids to eat this. It is not edible. Please don't eat it. I said flavor because I misspoke. It is a scent. I also had a few people ask if the cloud dough would rot or if it would like go bad. And what happens when you leave it out, if it gets too dry, it'll start going crumbly, which is fine. I mean, that makes for its own sensory experience. I just put mine in a Ziploc bag and we play with it for maybe a week and then it starts getting too dry. It can go dry quicker than that. I want to show you guys the texture of the original cloud dough so that you can know exactly what we're going for. This is the original texture of the cloud dough. It's very soft and squishy, very moldable. And if, like I said, if you leave it out, it'll get really crumbly and dry. So this is the consistency that we're going to try to recreate with the flour and the hair conditioner, and then also the shampoo and the cornstarch. All right, so I'm going to set this to the side so we can revisit it and compare it. And I'm going to put on gloves because my hands keep drying out really bad, and I hope this will kind of help prevent that a little bit more. Okay, so I think the biggest question I got was the flour, if you could use flour instead of cornstarch with hair conditioner. So I'm going to start with that one. Okay, so I've got my big old bag of flour here. You can see all-purpose flour. When I made cloud dough in the last video, I used 1 cup of cornstarch and a half a cup of hair conditioner. And in this video, I'm gonna scale it down for size just because I don't wanna waste a lot of materials and I don't need a sticky mess if that's all I'm gonna get out of this. So I'm gonna use a half a cup for my flour and a 1/4 cup for my hair conditioner, which should be the same ratio, 2:1. Okay, move that out of the way. Okay, so this is half a cup of flour. And then we are gonna do, this time the scent that I got is kiwi lime. Last time I think I had like a strawberries and cream. So, all right, and then we've got a 1/4 cup. Okay. And dump that in. Smells nice. But I bet it doesn't taste nice. All right, I'm gonna mix this around and see what we get. Okay. All right, so this is mixed up. It's still like super duper sticky. I'm gonna take my gloves off for this part though because I just need to feel what it's like. Okay, so, oh, that feels like bread dough. All right, so this is the consistency that we were going for, and this is the consistency that we got. So 2:1 using flour instead of cornstarch for our cloud dough. It is still super sticky. You can see that it is like stuck to my hands. All right, now with the cloud dough, if we add a little bit more cornstarch, it can kind of help make that texture again. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to add a little bit more flour and see if that fixes anything. All right, just sprinkle a little bit more in. Since I've already got my one hand gross, I'm just gonna go right back in with my bare hand. Oh, this feels so gross. I think I definitely prefer my my cornstarch to this. Okay, it's not stopping being sticky. The more I mix it, the more I just feel like my hands stick to it. Which is kind of interesting because I kind of thought it would, I don't know, just make more of like a bread dough. Actually, that's kind of what this looks like. This is kind of turning out to be a bit of a bread dough. I've mixed it with more flour. I can't get it to feel any different. I have my one hand that is still sticky, but I will give you another comparison now that I've mixed a little bit more flour with this. It is still not even close to the consistency of the cloud dough. Cloud dough, I can squish it and it won't stick to my hands. The flour faux dough, oh, that's so gross. Okay, I need to put this in the trash and wash my hands because this is disgusting. Clearly the flour does not work very well in place of the cornstarch. So don't try that. You're gonna get something that is just sticky and gross, and it is not gonna be moldable. Okay, I am gonna go back to the cornstarch and we're gonna try cornstarch with shampoo instead of conditioner. And I'm gonna use a different bowl. I did pre-make that cloud dough that I showed you earlier, and this is just the same bowl I made it in. Okay, so I'm gonna start with my 1/2 cup of cornstarch, and then I'm gonna do a 1/4 cup of shampoo this time. All right. See, we got your shampoo here. Ooh, it's such a different consistency. I worry about this a little bit. It looks pretty though. I'm interested to see how this one turns out. All right, this doesn't really seem to be thickening up at all. It's still staying pretty mushy. Okay, so this is what you're gonna get if you use shampoo instead of conditioner. It is very, it's smooth and creamy, which is kind of fun, but it's more like a shaving gel than it is a dough to play with. So I wouldn't recommend doing the shampoo. It doesn't seem to work. I'll go ahead like with the last one and I will add a little bit more cornstarch to see if it'll thicken up. Ooh, that was a lot of cornstarch. Whoops. Well, we'll see what it does. That was a lot more than I anticipated, but we'll see. It might still work. Maybe that'll be a good thing. Well, it definitely looks like it's actually coming together a little bit nicer. Okay, I'm gonna slide my gloves off and see how it feels, because it definitely did thicken up a little bit. I mean, like, I put a ton of extra cornstarch in there though. Okay. All right, so it's super, super crumbly. All right, so this is the consistency we're going for with the cloud dough, and then this is what we got. It's very, very crumbly, and that might just be because I added way too much cornstarch. So maybe I'll try adding a touch of shampoo back in there because I just put way more cornstarch than I anticipated. So let's see if we can get this to soften up a little bit. Oh, it just doesn't even feel the same though. It's so it's hard and it just feels hard. Like the cloud dough is really soft, but this just doesn't feel soft in the slightest. And it doesn't look like adding more shampoo is really making a difference at all. No, it's just going back to being really sticky. So I don't think that this is really gonna work either. All right, I'm gonna touch it with my other hand because the other hand's not gross and stuff. So the consistency is a lot closer to cloud dough, but it's still a bit too sticky and it's not soft. Like, it feels a lot harder than the cloud dough. So I don't know if this is something I would let my kids play with. Like, I'm happy to let them play with the cloud dough, but this is just like a little too sticky and a little too hard and would probably make a way bigger mess than the cloud dough does. So here's what we ended up with. The cloud dough is like way smoother, way nicer. I really like it a lot better. This one's hard, a little clumpy feeling almost. I guess that would be a good description for it, but it's just like this could still work if you don't mind a little bit more of a sticky dough. And the ratios would have to be a little bit different because 2 to 1 just kind of made like a sloppy shaving cream kind of thing. So you'd have to up that a little bit. So I'm not sure, you'd probably have to play around with it if you don't want to use the conditioner and you wanted to use shampoo instead. So, but all in all, I still think that the cornstarch and the conditioner win out. Okay, hopefully that helps answer some of those questions about the cloud dough. That is what happens when you use flour instead of cornstarch and then shampoo instead of conditioner. I was halfway tempted to try the shampoo with the flour, But with how bad the flour turned out with the hair conditioner, I kind of just didn't want to waste the stuff. So I didn't do that. If you want to try that, go ahead. It's probably going to be a big gross mess. Anyways, thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope I've answered your questions, and I'll catch you in the next video.